All right, so we're going to go to code.org from our classwork. Click on Lesson 8 Inheritance. Click on the link. For the first level, you have a matching question. Inheritance is an object-oriented programming principle where a subclass inherits a superclass. That's what we did in our warm-up. A superclass is a class that can be extended to create subclasses. The superclass we're going to be talking about now is Painter, and the subclass that we're going to create is Painter Plus. That's our subclass for this level, or next level. A tester class is basically the main method from where the program starts running. So that's our neighborhood runner. So you can try the mix and match question as many times as you want, but it'll be in the video here. For level 2, it says to do this: create a new file named painterplus.java. This was also in the warm-up. To create a new file, you click on New File, and you type in painterplus.java and create it. Then it asks you to write the class header for the Painter Plus class. So you need to write, as you can see here on my screen, and I will also write it on the board here, class Painter Plus. Oh man, that's really close. Class Painter, capital P for both the Painter and the Plus, extends Painter. And then you also need to include the squiggly brackets or braces at the end. Because within those little braces, you're going to have your code. We're extending the Painter class to create a Painter Plus. If you do those two things by creating the file, and then in that file extending Painter, then you should be able to run your code, test, and finish level 2. There is also a third part for this. If you scroll down into your instructions, you should, in your instructions, there's part 3 in the tester class, neighborhoodrunner.java. That's the original one. You got to click on that. You need to put Painter Plus, and then choose a name for your Painter Plus, equals new Painter Plus. So you need to instantiate a new Painter Plus class. So we have inside our Painter Plus Java, we extended the Painter class to Painter Plus, but then in the neighborhood runner Java, we instantiated Painter Plus. I used Joe, so Painter Plus Joe equals new Painter Plus. And make sure you have the open, close parentheses, and semicolon at the end. Then when you run that and test it, that should finish it. All right, level 3 or 8.3. All right, for level 8.3, it says to do, call the methods on the Painter, on your Painter Plus object, which that is in our neighborhood runner Java. We just created a new Painter Plus, and we're going to navigate to the traffic cone. So if you look at the little image, it has it move forward 1, 2, 3 times. So that's what we'll do first. We'll say painter.move, open, close parentheses, semicolon. We want to do that 3 times, so I'm going to copy it, paste it. Oopsies. Did not copy it correctly.
Mr. Why is my screen just black?
Paste it 3 times. And then we need to turn right by turning left 3 times. So painter.turn left. Remember to keep it lowercase on the first word, uppercase on the first letter of the second word. Open, close parentheses. And semicolon. We're going to do that 3 times. So I'm going to copy all of that, copy, paste, paste, and then finally I need to move forward 2 more times, so I can just copy that code from above. Then when I run it in my preview here, it should go right to the cone, and it does. So if I click test, it should give me a double check on my 2 requirements, and I can finish 8.3.
Mr. Lieberman?
For 8.4, the answer is E, 1 and 3 only, because if you look at 2, a wheel is not a car. It's a part of a car, but it's not a car. Your subclass should always be the same as your superclass. It should be a type of your superclass. A flower is a type of plant. A graphic novel is a type of book.
I did.
9.1 is a predict and run, so all you have to do is type in what you think it will do. And this one is a while loop. It's saying while Olivia is on the bucket, Olivia is going to take the paint. So as long as there's paint in that bucket, or as long as Olivia's on that bucket, she's going to continue to take paint until she moves off the bucket. And then she'll paint a square. Well, you can literally type anything you want. There are no wrong answers. Type in there, don't change the code at all, and click run, and you'll see it does exactly what it said it was going to do. It picked up all the paint while it was on there, and then it painted a square. And it's using this command called paint square. We have never seen that command before, paint square. So where did that come from? We'll see. On level 9.2, it says investigate and modify. So read very carefully. To do in painterplus.java, so we need to click on the painterplus.java, remove the word void from the line public void paint square. So we're going to remove that and then run the program. So when we run that after removing void, it says we couldn't compile your program, look for the bugs, and it says line 6, the one we just changed, invalid method declaration. It needs you to say the return type. What are we returning? If it's not there, then it's going to make an error. So now it says to do this in number 2, change the line public paint square to public Boolean paint square. So where that void was, we're going to type Boolean, B-O-O-L-E-A-N, and then we're going to run the program. What error message do you see? Again, we couldn't compile. Line 14 now, it says it's missing a return statement. That must mean that if you have a Boolean type, it needs to return something at the end. So now, after changing it to Boolean, it says to do this. Change the line public Boolean paint square to public void paint square, what it originally was, void. But it also has another change. It also says to put in the parentheses capital string space lowercase color. Capital string, lowercase color. Okay, then run the program. What error message do you see? And what do you think this means? So let's run it. And it says required Java language string. They found no arguments. So what that's saying is if there's a string color that needs to be called, then it should be called. So we need to call that somewhere. But for this 8.2, that's all we needed to do was to change it, delete the void, change it to Boolean, then put the void back in and change it to string color. Now we can finish 8.2. For 9.3, when you look at the instructions, it says in neighborhoodrunner.java, so now I'm going to go back to the neighborhood runner, add a color inside the parentheses in the call to paint square. So where it says on line 14, paint square, this is where we should have had a string color. Remember, we put that string color parameter inside our painter plus Java. So in the neighborhood runner, we need to pick a color. So let's choose orange, like it says in the directions, or pink. Okay, now when we run the program, it does run, but it doesn't paint it orange. Why is it not painting it orange? Now we're going to go to the Painter plus Java. Oh, you need to put it in the actual Painter plus Java, the string color. We need to change that blue in our Painter plus Java, line 9. We need to change it to the color that we want, which is color. So this string color is saying, okay, you need to put a string in, and it needs to be a type of color. And this part is saying, okay, put in whatever color the user says. And now when we run it, it should do the color that we chose on Java Neighborhood Runner, which was orange. But we have, it's not recognized. Orange should be fine. Oh, you need to get rid of the quotation marks on color. Don't put the quotation marks there. It tells you to put just color. I forgot to delete those, so make sure that you do that. Now when I run it, it does make it orange. Okay, on 9.4, when you go to the instruction that says in Neighborhood Runner Java, that's our main test area, change the line Painter plus Olivia equals new Painter plus to Painter Olivia equals new Painter. In other words, we're going to get rid of the plus in our instantiated object. Then we're going to run the program and look for an error message. What happens here? I'm going to guess that it doesn't make the square because it doesn't have any access to that. We couldn't compile the program. Line 14, paint square. Yeah, it won't paint the square because it doesn't have the Painter plus options. Inside the Painter plus, it has all the directions to paint a square. If we don't use a Painter plus, then we can't use paint square. That's it for 9.4. Finish. 9.5 is another multiple matching. A method signature consists of a name and a parameter list. A return type is the value returned before a method completes its execution and exits. So like the color, we need to return that. Return is to exit a method and go back to the point in the program that called it with that requested value or information. And then void specifies that a method should not have a return value at all. It's a void return. You don't need to return anything. All right, 9.6. It's going to get a little bit tricky here. We are going to add something to the Painter plus. We're going to write the method for turn right. So this is very similar to when we made functions. Remember when we did our other functions, we had to turn left 3 times. We created a function called turn right, and inside that function we did turn left, turn left, turn left. This is the same exact thing, except for we're doing it with text and in Java. So instead of having to turn left 3 times, I'm going to create in Painter plus a method for turning right. So we're in Painter plus.java, write the method turn right to turn a Painter plus object to turn right. So we need to create a whole new method here. And I need to make sure I'm doing that right. So we're creating a new method. So we need to do public, and we don't need anything returned. So we're going to void the return, public void, turn right. And we need to do the open parentheses, close parentheses, and then we're going to do an open braces, the little curly ones. And in the braces, we're going to write the method for turning right, which is to turn left 3 times. So turn left, open close parentheses, semicolon, and we do that 2 more times. Okay, so now that we have that, we can go back into our neighborhood runner Java, and instead of saying turn left 3 times, we can simply say turn right, because we have a Painter Plus, and we can access all of the methods in our Painter Plus. We just created one method, which is to turn right. Okay, now we're going to run the code, and we should get it to turn right. Move forward, turn right, and move forward again to get to the cone. Oh, I've got an error. In painterplus.java 13, class interface or enum expected. I think I forgot a close braces. Let's see if that works. Oh, here it is. So we need one to open up the public class Painter Plus. We need one to open up the turn right, and then we need to close both of them at the end. There it goes. So that's an easy mistake to make. Make sure that when you create a public class Painter Plus, you have the open brace. When you create the turn right, you have an open brace, and then at the end, you close both of those to make sure that it runs. Here, we're going to do, on 9.7, we're going to do A, take all the paint. So, what do we have to do? Well, in our Painter Plus Java, we need to write another method called take all paint to have a painter object take all of the paint from the paint bucket. And we can do that with a loop. It's easier to do it with a loop. So we're going to go back into our Painter Plus, and then after our first method, turn right, we're going to insert a new method. And we're going to call this one public void take all, capital A, capital P, A-I-N-T, take all paint, open, close, parentheses. And then again, we're going to open up our braces, just open, so we only want the opening part. And you'll notice when I created this, I put it after the end of the braces for my first method, but before the end braces for my public class Painter Plus. So it needs to be in the right spot. And for this method, inside the braces, we're going to use a loop. While, open parentheses, is on bucket, so lowercase I, S, capital O, lowercase n, capital B, U-C-K-E-T, is on bucket. You're always capitalizing the second and third or fourth word. And then we need to put the open close parentheses after that. So we have a total on this line 16, we have a total of 4 parentheses, 2 opens and 2 closes. And then we have an open brace where we're going to put the method for this loop. So while it's on the bucket, we're going to take paint. And that's to take all paint. Oops, I've got an extra A in there. Let's just make sure that that doesn't have any errors in it. We need another closing, I think. Okay, so now that's working. Now we're going to go back to the neighborhood run Java where the main thing is, and we need to use the directions to get all of the paint and paint. So first it needs to move forward twice. So we're just going to do 2 move forwards. And you can see what happens inside my preview when I do that. So just 2 move forwards, it should just move on top of the paint. And then we're going to do the method that we just created, which is take all paint. Joe.take all paint, open close parentheses, semicolon. So it should take up all the paint with just that single command. And we can also use a turn right, Joe.turn right, because we created both of those methods in our Painter Plus file. And then, what is our goal here? We're trying to paint all those squares. So we need to pick up the paint. Then we need to turn right and paint and move. Paint and move, paint and move. So I'm going to go Joe.paint, open parentheses, open quotations, white, and then put a semicolon at the end, and then a Joe.move. And I'm going to do that 1, 2, 3 times. So copy that, paste it, paste it. Let's see where that gets me if I test it out. Good, and I need to paint again. Joe.paint white, semicolon. And then I need to turn to the left. Move and paint 2 times. And that should complete the level.